Hey guys, Dr. Marc here. Happy Friday. Okay, so diving into this whole social media thing, building a business, super important for nutrition coaches, strength coaches. I know a lot of people know that they need to be using social media, but a lot of times what to do in this strategy can become quite confusing. So I want to go over some stuff today. This is going to be educational. Hi, Ron. Hi, Meredith. If you guys have any questions as I'm going, feel free to ask them. It won't ruin my flow. We can keep this open discussion, that type of thing. But I really want to share what I know because this is something that I've sunk considerable time, effort, money, energy the last 4 or 5 years into getting good at. And I've distilled some things down. There's a few things here. Number one being, I remember pretty clearly, there's only so many things that change the health, fitness, and nutrition landscape overnight. There's been a few things. One thing specifically was, for the longest time, people that were looking to lose fat, lose weight, get leaner, gain muscle, the variables that, or the things that you could do from your nutrition and fitness were almost a laundry list. It was insurmountable, the things. It was meal timing and supplement protocols and this macronutrient, this type of diet. It was essentially like you had like a checklist of things that you should accomplish. And if you did the entire list, you'd get specific result. That's not the case. It doesn't actually work like that. Science came on the scene and we started to determine some things matter more and some things matter less. And from that, we were able to put context into the equation. You need to focus on this stuff more of the time. And if you do that, you'll see results. A lot of this stuff doesn't matter as much. Hi, Ron. It doesn't matter as much, and therefore don't worry about it as much. It's context. Science changed everything we do in terms of nutrition. At this point, in terms of nutrition coaching and strength coaching and online personal training and that type of stuff, there's not much context around how do we use social media to build our businesses. I want to add some context to this today because when you do that, when you're able to do that and you're having a better idea of what needs to happen versus, what you need to execute on versus what isn't as important, you'll be able to consistently do the things that you need to do to grow your business, gain paying clients, and continue to help people through your passion. So that's what we're going to chat about today. Number one, if you want a customized plan for all of this stuff, if you want a customized plan, work with me. We'll build a strategy around these principles and make sure you execute on it. I do have opportunities for one-on-one coaching. So if this is something you're watching back the replay or you want some more help, go to the link in my bio, apply for coaching, or send me a DM and we'll chat about if that is a good fit and kind of where you're at. You can get some help and support on this because once you have these principles in place, everything seems easy. It's almost like you have a cheat code to put stuff into action. Let's talk about some of the variables. You'll probably know from, if you've been following any of my stuff for any length of time or read the muscle and strength pyramids or anyone talking about the hierarchy of nutrition, there are things that matter more and there's things that matter less when it comes to your nutrition and how it influences your body composition. You'll know that calories and macronutrients are on the bottom, where things like supplements really don't impact the process very, very much. The same thing is true when it comes to social media content and getting paying clients. There's things that matter more and there's things that matter least. The number one thing, if we were to focus on the bottom of the pyramid, the most important thing you could focus on is consistently showing up. I love putting a number on things. It typically looks like 5 times per week. There's no magic here. It could be less for some people, more for others, but you need to be active on social media 5 times per week. It doesn't really, at the bottom level, like in terms of adherence and consistency, you just got to be showing up and getting in front of people and getting in front of people's faces and talking about something related to what you would help coach people in, be it nutrition, fitness, that type of thing. That's at the bottom, and there's absolutely no getting around that. You need to be consistent to that. That's what's going to help. There are times where, we have people in the Dr. Marc method and coaches that people will entertain the thought of working with us and never follow through. And because we are consistent with our messaging, continue to show up, they'll come back around. Months later, sometimes even years later, you got to stay consistent because and we're going to talk about some of the other variables here, when you actively show up in front of people, they're going to associate you as the person that can help them with specific problems. So the consistency piece is number one. Number two, so we're going up the pyramid now. You need to have a clear call to action in terms of your posts. It doesn't always have to be work with me, but you need to be directing people, you need to be leading people to the next step. Most importantly, people need to know that they can actually work with you. You can't just leave this up to fate or hope that they'll connect the dots and think that I could work with Coach Marc here. You need to spell it out for them in the most direct way possible. And a lot of times it's going to be like, if you have this problem, I can help you with it. If you'd like to achieve blank, I can help you with it. If you're struggling to do this, if you'd like to do that, this is what we can do. Reach out to me. Very, very clear. It's important to give people an opportunity to work with you, or they just won't do it. So those are the first two. Got to show up consistently. Got to give people an opportunity to work with you. If you did those two things repeatedly, you'd see some pretty good results. It's just about making offers and doing it consistently. Best case scenario, you start to refine what you're talking about and you kind of complete the picture. There's different ways of talking about this, but I've always been taught and also teach it as a bit of an awareness ladder. Whereas someone needs to know that you help someone with a specific problem, be it they want to get leaner, they want to lose fat, that, if you have this problem, I can help you with it. But you also need to be able to provide the solution to what it is, specifically how your coaching does it differently than others, how you are the best option for them, what you do, the specific mechanism, that type of thing, to get the actual positive payoff, not just the details of it, but the actual positive payoff. Remember, you have to think of what's in it for my client, what is in it for the person that's watching this, not what I think is interesting, what they want. And we can focus more on that. We do a pretty good job of displaying what they want, and they'll associate us with the solution. So we need to talk about the problem, the solution, but we can't just go that far. No one wants to just trust that you can do this for them. They want to know that others have done it. So we introduce some social proof to the actual equation, showing people that others have done it, be it through testimonial content or even speaking to a client journey. It can be an avatar. It doesn't need to be a real person. It could be what typically happens with someone, what they're struggling with, and how you help them. If you can do that, you start to complete the picture. Then at the end, we give them an opportunity to work with us. You can do this in individual posts, or you can do it in one post or story or whatever it is, to push them towards, there's this problem, here's a solution, here's others I've helped with as well. Here's your opportunity to work with me if this is something you're interested in. If you do this type of stuff and complete the picture, people become attracted, they start to gravitate to you as a solution, and they will hire you. So you got to complete the picture. So we're talking about showing up consistently, then giving people an opportunity to talk to you. Best case scenario, as you're showing up consistently, we then move to completing this picture in terms of the story of how we tell it to people, and going full circle in terms of here's the problem, here's the solution, and how I help you, here's how it's different from everyone else, and why I'm the best bet for you to do this, as well as, hi Kim, as well as now we start to talk about here's social proof in terms of here's me doing it with others, and here's what you can do to get similar results and hire me as a coach. But we need to complete the picture. At this point, if we can start to niche down to specific people, so we're not just talking to everyone, hi Kim, then we can start to talk about specific pain points and problems, the problems people have, and talking about them. It's not gaslighting them. If anything, it's validating some of the stuff they're going through, and they want to trust it and get support that there's other people and professionals that can recognize that and help them with it. If we can start to highlight a specific person, be it demographic or, like who they are as people, profession, that type of thing, specific stuff. It's crazy. I got a message about the Coach for Hire framework today, and a student was saying, I posted this, and literally half an hour later, someone was like, are you in my head? This isn't like, it's not wizardry. It's that you know what your client is going through, and you talk about that, not what's important to us, what's important to them. So if we can get specific on who this person is and talk about only them, we start to attract a specific person. When you talk to everyone, you end up landing no one. So we got to get specific. And we start to move up this hierarchy of what matters most. This is when we're starting to dial in the minutia. So it goes consistently. Typically for most people, this means 5 times per week. And then it goes to, we need to give a clear call to action. People need to know that you can coach them. You need to give them an opportunity to do that. Then we got to complete the picture in terms of tell this entire story so it's cohesive, that you have all the pieces in place. And at that point, if we can start to specifically niche down, some people can do this from the beginning. Others need to try out different things and experiment a little bit. We'll start to speak to a specific individual that will start to reach out to us, gravitate to our content, and kind of go from there. Now, after all of this stuff is done, you can start to work on some of the minutia, be it brand colors, be it paid ads. Like paid ads are the funniest thing. A lot of people think of, marketing and advertising. I got to do some sort of, paid advertisement. You have literally access to a bunch of people online completely organically. Number one, you don't need to be doing that. And number two, you could dump a lot of money into something that isn't already dialed in and it goes nowhere. Paid advertisements, like paid ads, that type of stuff is just adding gasoline onto the fire. And most people don't have a fire yet because they don't have that foundational stuff to work off of. So we need to do that before we focus on anything else. Not hashtags, not brand colors, not paid advertisements. We need to go up and down this hierarchy. And if you're doing that, you're showing up consistently, you're giving people an opportunity to talk to you, you're talking about the results and positive payoffs of your work as opposed to details. Like no one needs to know how you do things. They want the result. And if you focus on that, they will come to you. So for the longest time, there was no context around what do I absolutely need to be doing to be getting paid clients through social media. But I'm hoping that this gives you a bit of context in terms of a hierarchy so that you can start to focus on the things that matter most instead of getting lost in all the details, which tends to happen to most people. Now, if you want a customized plan that we work on together, that you can put this into practice, I do have 2 spots open for one-on-one business coaching. It's the quickest, most fastest, effective way to do that. You'd be so surprised how much quicker you are on this journey of building a profitable business when you get help and support. It's something that has completely changed my business, and I'd be happy to share that with you as well. Apply for coaching through the link in my bio, and we will go from there. Maggie, just missed me. If anyone has any questions, concerns, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'd be happy to ask any questions. We're talking about how to use social media to attract paying clients. If you're watching the replay and if you have any questions, please comment below. I would be happy to answer any questions later. And if not, we will go from there. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. Take care, guys. Bye.